Yeah.
You guys, that's gonna be better in real life. It's amazing. Y'all, in Detroit, the Fe Noel. Y'all, in Detroit. Hi. You wanna be like, girl, are you ready? Because we are about to have such a fun weekend in the D. I cannot believe I haven't brought you along with me for like a Detroit vlog in a minute. I have just been traveling, as you know, like New York, and then I literally gonna be back in New York in like another weekend. I'm so excited because CultureCon, but this weekend in the D, there is so many exciting things happening. So girl, we about to have a time. So first up, there is the National Footwear Forum. I'm so excited because Notoriously Kia is going to be here. She's speaking today, so of course I'm getting dressed up. I'm about to head over because I do not want to miss her speaking, but also like Adidas is in the house, Pumas, Steve, Madden, the Pistons. Like, this is such a great networking opportunity and it's free, okay? Like, if you registered on time, all the events that they were putting on for the whole weekend, you can come, like, enjoy, get all that information. So super excited. There are 2 breakout sessions I for sure want to make it to today, so we're gonna be heading to that. This evening's gonna be really chill because tomorrow we are about to do another big one. So not only are there more amazing breakout sessions for the footwear, Steve Madden, like I said, Pumas, Adidas, but we're finally turning you up for the birthday. What? Because, okay, look, like, I don't know how it is with you and your friends. The hard part is a lot of my friends are Virgos and we all have birthdays literally like days away. Shayna's is on the 12th. I think Latina is a little bit before that. I have got mine on the 16th and my girl Eden is on the 18th. So it's like birthday. And we've just all come to this kind of agreement. Like, our day will probably be our day for us and like the special person in our life if we've got one, right? But then we do try to coordinate and have like a group birthday, just because like going to 4 different birthdays in 1 month, that can just add up for everybody. And I don't want to stress nobody out financially. You know, I'm about having a good time. And for me, honestly, that's like a good DJ, some good drinks, a lot of booty butt shaking and quaking. So I'm so excited because there are a couple of events tomorrow outside of the footwear forum. There's also going to be the Design Core Murals Day Party, Block Party. So we're gonna hit that up because the whole month of September, if you did not know, there's so many amazing events going on. Design Core is a really amazing organization here that helps to get more eyes on all just the different kinds of design in like every area, like AI, in fashion, in building and architecture. So this month there were so many activities. Like, if you're ever thinking of a time that you want to come and hang out here in the D with me, September is honestly a great time of year. Like, it's not too hot. There's just so much to do and see and so many amazing pop-ups. So they are having a really fun day party we're gonna hit up. I think we're gonna do like a super casual dinner because it is a big group. So again, wanting to keep everybody's budget in mind, I think we're looking at Detroit Shipping Co. And then depending on the energy levels, we might pop back out because the same DJs putting on the day party are also doing a night session at Spotlite. So I'm trying to decide. We're gonna see honestly how good I am, because if I get my video edited and get all this other stuff in place, y'all, I'm about at that point I need an assistant. Like, about the time I need an assistant. And for Sunday, there are even more events going on. So they're having like a nice restorative session for Sunday. I'm very excited. They have 2 breakout sessions, but I plan to hit the one I think that's hosted by Adidas, plus Godnii, which is a Black-owned luxury eyewear here based in Detroit, is having a private event, finally launching their storefront. I love Godnii sunglasses, so I'm hoping to see what we can do, get a little pair, because I have some amazing events lined up literally back to back next weekend as well. As you already know, I'm talking for Black Tech Saturdays Empowerment Summit, hosting a workshop. So excited. Then literally, as soon as I get done with the workshop, I'm zooming over to the airport because I will be attending CultureCon in New York because they gave your girl a free set of tickets. And I'm so excited because Amber of Social in the City also is going to be there. So definitely planning to get some content, really have a good time. So I'm very excited. I need to grab my drinky drink because we're running a little behind this morning. So I'm gonna give you a quick look at the fit, finish up my little puff pastry that I made, because y'all know I just love a good puff pastry whenever I get my little coffee. But paying $7 for this when you can just buy the pre-pie roll and just cut it up, add your cheese, add your meat, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So this is what I'd be making at home for breakfast, something quick, something easy to go along with my protein shake and my smoothies. So we're gonna finish this up and I'm gonna give you a look at the outfit real quick. So this is the fit, definitely giving model off-duty vibes. I feel like that's whenever I'm like trying to look chic but also wanna be comfortable, I really do look for models. Like New York Fashion Week was such a huge inspiration for like, I'm a model, I wanna look put together, but I'm headed to my next show. Literally, that's kind of like my mentality now when I'm like, okay, I wanna be casual but cool girl. So with that in mind, we have the Zara bodysuit. I just love the cutouts. Like, it's so easy, so chic, right? Serving body, right? Just something easy. It's gonna add some shape. And then I've got the Target jeans, right? I am just serving long leg JB in these. And it's just giving a really, really fun, cool girl look paired with my cream Nikes. My little coconuts is what they are actually called. Let me get this other leg fixed. Why are you folding like that? There you go. Because that matters, y'all. Like how your little cuffs come down and all that. Those are the little details. And the way that this is like breaking too, I actually really love that. Because it's still giving like it lands flat with the shoe. Oh, y'all see, I was going to go out looking crazy. You ain't saying nothing. Y'all was like, yeah, Jordan, go off then. Looking crazy. But I just love how these are breaking, right? Because you notice how they're kind of cuffing at the bottom. I'm really loving that kind of like semi-puddling effect. It's just really, really cool, really, really chic. And I haven't found a good pair. Like these I would consider like my version of the Sambas, or like you're going to see the Puma Speed Cats making a comeback. I personally am cool with these until I find like an actual pair I like. It's not that I'm against the Adidas that everybody's wearing. I just really want the whale runners, but I'm not ready to spend that kind of money right now on that. Then for the layering piece, I've got this Beauchlet textured bomber jacket. I told you on the Target video that bomber jackets were going to have a big moment. I've already done the Affirm jacket with these jeans, so I didn't want to run that back so soon. So I really just love how this is kind of like, right? Edgy, off-duty. You're still getting some body underneath because of the way that the bodysuit is cut. Cream dream. For the accessories, the SHAQ earrings, and I've been reaching for my Soko rings a lot. They've been great for layering, so I have the fan rings on this finger and then the Bahara ring on this finger. So this is the fit for day 1 of the footwear forum. Just something very, very easy again, because I'm just going to observe, going to get my notes, going to get the tea, going to meet the people. So I want something gonna be fun enough, because I've talked about this. A good outfit can be an icebreaker at a networking event. So that's one of the reasons I'm never too casual, right, at something like this, because I want someone to be like, okay, wait a minute. No, okay, wait a minute, and want to come up and compliment the outfit. And that makes it, like I said, so much easier to meet new people, especially if you just are nervous about approaching somebody and asking them like who they are and all of those things. So for the bag, I'm literally bringing my big leopard print bag from H&M, because I'm going to be bringing my laptop to do work in between time, because like I said, my first one is at 10 to 11, and then they're having an hour lunch break. So I figured I would edit before I see our girl, and then decide if I want to stay for the rest of the like programming, because it goes until 4, or if I want to beat the traffic and come home and figure out what I want to get into for the evening. So almost forgot. I know you're going to ask, because we did agree I was going to start sharing the fragrances. I'm going to be going with Valentino Green Extravaganza. This is bright. This is fresh. This is just such a fun scent. I was so surprised, because I do feel like I talked about this in my favorites for the month. Some of the designers y'all be saying are not worth it. This is not the case. So I'm just going to love smelling like this all day. Nice and fresh. It lasts so well, which is really, really important, again, when you were just kind of like sitting around all day. You're not trying to be musty when you meet your idol. So definitely doing the green extravaganza, because I'm gonna need to smell good when I'm in that room. Girl, do they have you creating the content, or are you more in charge of? Got it. Nice. Okay. One of these is checking in. I'm gonna just get a little life water, y'all. To my whole heart. They really did. No, thank you.
Listen, I love you are doing hanging out here.
Thank you.
You are, yeah. Now it's time. Keep going.
We talk about corporations and outside of corporations, I figured without making any assumptions, what we want to start with is in the spirit of inclusion. Let's just unpack. Have you ever gotten to a place where you realize, on paper, this looks like a great partnership. I really wish this could happen, but then you start peeling back that layer and realize there ain't shared values. And if you have had that, what did you do? Did you try to repair it? Did you walk away?
And then it's a little different kind of situation here, but we were acquired by a company that did not share our values. And so what that meant was, instead of going out and building with the community, what they asked us to do was go to retail stores and gas stations and things like that to get a quick sale, as opposed to building with the community. And what ultimately happened with that was the brand ended up declining because they weren't investing in the community, they were just going for the quick sales.
Y'all, in Detroit, the Fe Noel. Y'all, in Detroit. Hi.
Is this a recorder?
Yeah, so this is actually a little Osmo Pocket social camcorder to do my vlog.
Hey guys, we're here.
We're here. Ah! Okay, wow. I came out to apply today. It's a little, I'm definitely doing that. I'm being on the waterfront, that has to be so nice. I'm jealous.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Kia Marie, aka the Notorious Kia. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm a stylist and content creator. Brooklyn is in the house.
Hi guys, my name is Channing Beamer. I am from Dallas, Texas, and I'm the founder of CNKDaily.com and also Shop CNK, the first Black woman-owned women's sneaker boutique in the country.
Woo!
Hey everyone, I'm Jasmine Humphrey. I'm from Chicago, but live in New York. I'm the Director of Campus and Cultural Engagement for LVMH.
Hi everyone, I'm Bree. I'm from Staten Island, New York. And I am a social media strategist and designer.
You need money, you need investors, and I have heard no so many times. This is a great idea, but no, this is a great idea, I'll follow up with you, right? You have to get to a point where you believe that you are doing something that matters more than yourself.
What's important though is the general public doesn't understand how some of these trends come from a very personal, sometimes hurtful place. You know, I started wearing sneakers. Yes, it's fly, it's fashionable. I'm from New York, but I was an athlete. I broke my ankle. I had really bad feet issues, and the only thing I could wear was sneakers. So that's why I'm wearing sneakers, and I'm influencing so many women to do that, and that's a beautiful thing. But I think a lot of these companies take for granted what's a lot of our pain. You know, think about the oversized clothing. That wasn't because we had to. Hand-me-downs and all that kind of stuff was things for survival. So a lot of the trends that we set is things we didn't have a choice. But the problem is our culture is being sold back to us. We don't have ownership of a lot of these things that we start. So I think it's important for us to come together and have ownership to where we can sell them our culture because we're making a profit from it. You know, I think a lot of the hardships that we face or the fact that we don't feel like we have a say is because we don't have ownership. So I think that's first. Companies need to get us off of the mood boards and put us in the campaigns and understand that we're not just a pretty face. We have a lot to contribute on the back end as well as the front end.
Different brands and they're like, yo, you were on the pitch board today, you were in the meeting, and it's like, okay, but they didn't contact me, you know, I'm not in the campaign, I'm not a part of it, and I think that happens a lot, and it's like, to your point, it's like they're taking our likeness and trying to sell it back to us, and I think that's the biggest disconnect here, and I think that point blank period, Black women are the blueprint. We have been, always will be, and it needs to be recognized in the beginning and not at the end, and I feel like that always tends to happen. I think for the future, it just needs, you need to start with us and not try to wrap it up at the end.
For those who may not be aware, is the idea of, okay, we work in a white corporation, it's only two of us, it can't be two of us, right? So if we both are in the room, I'm gonna sit far away from you because I don't want them thinking, you know, anything, that we're close. And so we see each other as competition. And I think, you know, the younger generations are doing a better job at being more receptive and supporting each other. But it still exists, and so we have to recognize that, you know, that's not the way to go. And then, secondly, I mean, you need to be the change you want to see, right? Like, especially if you work for a corporation. For me, I thought I had the dream job at Tiffany. I was director of PR, working on campaigns with Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Nike. But you know, I didn't feel good that I was the only Black woman on the marketing team for this global luxury, you know, organization. And so, you know, how can I create more? How can I be in a position that creates more opportunity? And so that's when I made the pivot to HR.
You guys, I finally met her in real life. It's amazing.
And Shaquille O'Neal.
Wow. Why y'all like this every time?
It's been so important to you to build accessible shoes in terms of in this industry, because people get enamored with the hype.
So when I first came out, I wanted to be the first big man to have a shoe. So I went to Nike. They didn't want to sign me. So I went to Reebok. Went back to Nike wearing a Reebok jacket. Went to Reebok. They gave me my own shoe. I was in a marketing class in college, and the professor said, make up something that you could see in the future being sold. So if you look at my emblem, Dunkman, I was looking at the Jordan emblem. He's Junkman, right? Because that's how he dunks. So how I dunk, you know how I dunk. So I became a dunk man in college, and I made the presentation to the professor. I came up with the SHAQ shirts, socks, underwear, sweatsuits, and the professor said, impressive, but not impressive. And I said, what do you mean not impressive? He's like, big guys don't sell. This will never work. So I had the dunk man thing. So when I went to Reebok, I was like, yeah, I want my own shoe, I want this, I want that. And they said, okay. I was like, oh shit, it works.
The connection between giving and success.
It's a simple answer. It makes my mother happy. I like to do things that are unseen than seen. Like I'd rather not get credit for it. So, favorite story is I was in Best Buy, which is my favorite store one day, and I saw me and my mother. Not really, but I saw a lady and her son, and they were in the layaway department. So I'm here hustling, and you know the mom, like $1,500. The mom she grabbed the baby and was like, "Baby, next paycheck, I'm gonna go and get you the laptop." That used to be me and my mother. So I was like, you know what, man, just go and get it. She's like, no, I can't take it. You know how a Black woman, I can't take it. I was like, I'm gonna take it. I don't want nothing in return. So, you know, when I get text from my mothers that says, baby, I'm proud of you helping people out, that's what it's all about.
Back home in something cozier, it was such a great time. I always have a love for these events because they're so fun, they're so informative. However, it can be very tiring. Like, people were there from 9 a.m. and they are still there. I had to come home, let Anna Banana out, you know, in her old age. She can't hold it like she used to no more, so we got to make sure she does not pee and tinkle in the house, my little old lady. She's looking at me like, why are you telling my business, though? And she's also patiently waiting for dinner. I'm literally making something so easy because I do need to get some editing done. I'm craving a grilled cheese. It's like gloomy-ish. So I figured while I put that together, I would talk through just like how amazing the event was. I was so surprised because a lot of the time, what I find is that like these events in the city sometimes are very much the same kind of people. And not that that's entirely wrong. Detroit is such an amazing place for that, where they're going to make sure their people are in the door and in the room first. But because of that, it can feel a little limiting, I would say, in terms of like just meeting new people and new opportunities. But the amount of people who were here from like out of town, literally CEOs of Puma, of Adidas, of New Balance, like all in this room, all from like all over the place, North Carolina, New York, like Dallas. It was so dope to connect. And also, I love when people from out of the state come and get to really experience the dopeness that is Detroit. I had one girl approach me. Her name was Melanie, and it was so sweet. She recognized me from YouTube and was sharing about her mother and her going through like their cancer journey, and I totally can relate. My mother, I don't talk about it often because she doesn't like to talk about it, but she is a breast cancer survivor, so I just could relate in so many ways. I was like, girl, I totally understand your feelings, like trying to be there for your mom and your mom fighting through this. And it was so great to just meet more of you, but then also meet a lot of my idols you saw. And the crazy part, unbeknownst to me, like this is what was so fun and why events like this can be so important. One sec. Because you gotta get it real cheesy, okay? I'm like a multiple size. I want the cheesiest piece of grilled cheese. So I also was sitting next to Fe Noel. Like, it was so crazy. I am so good at meeting new people at this point. You know, I'm like, oh, I heard you mention something. Do you mind if I just ask? And the great thing about events like this, that's what people are expecting, right? Like, you're there to network. There's nobody like, why are you about to come talk to me at this networking event, right? And that's why I love these events. I'm so excited. This made me so excited for CultureCon, because I'm like, yes, these are the people I've been trying to like meet and just talk to and really get a good vibe, because a lot of the gems were about networking horizontally, networking with your peers. There are so many people who you would be surprised might have opportunities for you, might be advocating for you, and just so many other things like that. So that was just a huge takeaway for me, was like, it is important to get in the rooms. For a while I was like, you know what, my hard work's gonna show off. I got all this proof, the emails, the brand collabs, but people do need to get a feel for you, understand you, your values, where you're coming from. And I know I translate so much better in person. Like, I have tried to like convey really well in writing. That skill is something I'm still working on somewhere in my young age and my young angst. When I stopped writing poetry, I feel like that's kind of when I just shied away from writing in general, and it was hard for me to translate in that way. But every time in person, it's like, oh, good, you actually get me. Like, I don't have to like explain who I am, and the right people always sense my good energy. Like, I met Channing, and she was so amazing, so sweet. She invited me to basically hang out with her for the afternoon because I went by myself, just to, again, like, get these gems and talk to the people and really just meet all these amazing people in the industry and in the space. And that was the other really awesome thing. Yes, y'all, it's Campbell's, because there's nothing better than like when grandma used to do it, right? Like, she would just have the Campbell soup, some Wonder Bread, the Kraft singles, a bunch of butter. Like, I know for people the fall for them is like pumpkin spice sweater weather. For me, it's like grilled cheese soup. Grilled cheese and soup, okay? Like, that's what the fall, that's what fall really means to me. Like, that's one of my favorite parts about fall. I'm like, ooh, it's cozy. Like, I can put my soup in a big mug, dunk my grilled cheese. Look, I'm already so excited. And the other great thing I would say about this event, honestly, you saw SHAQ was in the building. Like, I love when events like this try and do something unexpected. Like, yes, here's this itinerary, but we're gonna sneak in a few extra perks for those of you who are here, for those of you who stuck around. And I loved it. Like I said, I got to meet April Wood. I had to act like I wasn't fangirling. Like, it was amazing just to be in the room. And I underestimated, if I'm totally honest, I underestimated just how big this was, and that this was a legitimate like conference, like a work conference, how many companies were sending their employees, their marketing teams here to learn and grow and get that education, because I've again been removed from it. Even like at GM, my company was not sending me on like all these sustainability forums. I had to like find them myself at best, and then depending on the budget, I'd have to pay out of pocket if I was gonna go. So it's really nice to see that some companies especially are trying to focus on getting the people in the door, especially people of color, really trying to make sure that they're getting the resources or tapped in. I just love to see that some companies still valued that, and heard like how many people were like, yeah, my company paid for this. They wanted us to be here, make sure that we were like representing and getting information. I loved it. And that's the other, like, I'm not gonna say sneaky trick, but I think like, it's slept on for creators. You think that, you know, the only place you need to be emailing is somebody in PR, but you just never know at networking events like this who might be the right person that could connect you or put you in line with somebody that just, it makes sense, you know? So that was so fun. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer because I've gotten asked, ooh, my lighting. I've been asked a couple times to talk about my Caraway pants. So I figured this would also be a good time to kind of like show you. I've had these for a little bit over, gosh, just shy of a year now, and I like to use things. Y'all know this. I like to use things and make sure they actually work before I sit here and like say, yes, you absolutely need this, and yes, you should absolutely use this. So I'm going to flip you around really quick, and I'm going to let you see the pant itself, because it's still, I would say, in good condition. I would still say it's in good condition. Cleaning it is a little bit of a frustration, I won't lie. Like, you have to really get your like soap all sudsy and let it kind of boil with water to get a lot of the stains out. But from a non-stick perspective, it does do really, really well. I'm gonna turn it down so I don't burn my grilled cheese on accident, because I'll be so hurt after all this excitement over my grilled cheese if I burned it. So you gotta get the big slice. Oh yeah. You hear that? Y'all hear that? So good. So a couple of things about the Caraway. I do love them. They are non-stick. You just have to know how to use non-stick right. You cannot use metal utensils. Look at me. Look at me. You're going to have to get the plastic utensils. You scratch that surface. It's no saving it. It's no going back. The other thing is it can't be too hot, because then it will still stick depending on what you're cooking. Like, that just is a truism regardless of the pan. It's not the pan's fault. It's our fault, because non-stick, it's treated differently. It's a different material and different coatings. It has to be treated the right way to be non-stick. The only other beef I have is it came with this to help hold the lids. It's supposed to fit in your cabinets. It's actually too wide for my cabinet. So I would like stick it on there and it'd be kind of crimped, and eventually, like, because it wasn't sitting right, the sticky stuff eventually just like fell off. So that's the other thing. Like, I love this in theory, but I wish there was like also an alternative to this, because this just isn't the right size for the cabinets that I have, and that's not entirely Caraway's fault, but also like that assumption feels a little bit rude, just a little bit rude. Overall though, I am feeling so energized, but also really, really tired, which is why I needed a low maintenance dinner, because I need something good. It's gonna be protein, it's gonna be good for my soul, and then I can get into editing, because it looks like a lot of the people are feeling the same way. It's like, yo, I either got in like first thing this morning, late last night, got up early to be at all these events. So just like a casual dinner and maybe just checking out one or two little bars. But a lot of people are trying to be outside tomorrow, and with Eden also trying to pop out and having a good time to celebrate our belated birthdays together, I know that I'm not a party, buzz, club, another buzz. Not even at Purdue. Like, not even at Purdue was I giving you Thirsty Thursday, a Friday, and a Saturday. Like, you could see me Thursday, then you wouldn't see me till Saturday, because why am I drinking more than one day in a row? What was wrong? Why did I need to drink like that? Like, never. I just never wanted to fall into that lifestyle. So I really did make it like a personal rule, a lot like my fitness. Like, for the gym, I don't miss 2 days in a row. When I was drinking, it'd be like, I'm not drinking 2 days in a row, because I never wanted to just fall into that lifestyle. I did not even want to kind of risk, to be honest. So that's just my personal rule. So because I'm planning to be out tomorrow night, I'm gonna be in, get what I need to get done tonight, finish up my editing like an adult. And then I can go play tomorrow, because definitely gonna be up and early, back at the forum, then come back, let Anna Boo out, change, get ready to have a good time, because Black Gold is gonna be on the 1s and 2s with House Party. And I think that people are trying to go out again after, so I'm just gonna try and pace myself as best as possible. But there's a restful Sunday. So I hear my grilled cheese ready to flip. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it, and we are gonna check in the morning, do a quick little fit check before heading into another amazing day at the National Footwear Forum. Good morning, day 2. Rested, got my video like completely edited, because some days, I won't lie, I'll get like most of it done, and then last minute, but I was like, nope, we're not doing it today. So this is the fit for day 2 of the Footwear Forum. I have my RTA top paired with these pants from Fashion Nova. They're actually surprisingly super comfortable, super breathable, because I really wanted to get off my Black History Months. I really wanted to wear these this weekend. So that is why we've got this kind of like cool girl, but like, I don't know, you know, I always love a good like fun take on workwear, especially now that I don't have a regular 9-to-5. I can play around with fun stuff like this that I feel like you always see on Revolve's website, where it's like, here's what you're gonna wear to work. And I'm like, whose work lets them be half naked? Whose work lets them wear mini skirts? Whose work lets them have a sheer top? Like, now mine does. Now mine does. For the bag, they gave away an amazing goodie bag filled with things. We will get into that tomorrow, because I'm running a little bit behind. The accessories, these earrings are from Hoop Mob. Got my Amazon bracelets, my Fashion Nova bracelets. Then the same rings from yesterday. I'm not making it complicated at all for myself. So I'm really digging the fit, and let's get into the morning, because like I said, today's a packed day. I'm gonna spend the morning at the forum, come home, change, get ready to do a little something with the girls out at Spotlite for the murals. And then I'm trying to get some energy because some of the people I met are talking about popping out tonight from the forum. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna have the energy. Get your stuff, let's go grab a coffee, and let's get into day 2 of the forum.
I really am always excited to talk about this conversation, but I'm always also unhappy to talk about this conversation. Because my role model, unfortunately, didn't look like me. The person that structured my life the way it is a male, Caucasian man, Jewish actually. And he's the one that kind of paved the path for me and opened the doors. I'm excited for that because he is and still is an amazing individual. But I never had someone that looked like me that said, you know what, Sharifa, let me hold your hand. Let's not even hold my hand. Let's have a conversation about life. I recently, and I'm 45, you know, and I recently just found someone that I admire, that I respect, and that like I can speak to on an individual level. Yeah. And this is at 45. Nowadays, when you go in a room, you're like happy to see that next person. Yeah. So there's no
And we want to see each other succeed and do well. It may be something that I may not even be thinking about, and Sharifa knows something or has a piece of information or a contact that she can share with me, and vice versa. It's just natural. It's like, wow, you're doing this. This is dope. Do you know such and such? Have you spoke to da-da-da-da? She just shared something with me walking in the hallway. So it's just natural because, it doesn't, what does it hurt you to share?
Our relationship with Howard University, and we were thinking about that. We wanted to talk about, the transactions of that a little bit, right? Like how do we get there, why?
Conversation, if you have questions about what somebody said here on stage, and if you have a question and follow up, feel free to find us throughout the rest of the conference. Everybody here is definitely pretty friendly. So, starting with Esther. One of my favorites. This is the first time me and Esther meet in real life after like 10 years of following each other on the internet. So she's
really quickly pulling myself together for the evenings, but I thought it would be fun to recap day 2. I'm really, really loving the forums. I feel like a lot of the information, what I love about it is it's just so affirmational. And I think that so many people, unfortunately, depending just on their job or just their situation, tend to overlook attending these kinds of events and just how important attending these kinds of events are. The amount of people, like I said, I met Fe Noel yesterday, we saw SHAQ, I've met people who are leading amazing projects at Foot Locker, at Steve Madden, and I, again, would have never guessed that this thing was happening here in Detroit. And the crazy part is this was a free event, and I have seen paid events not be as useful as a free event like this. Like the amount of just networking and people I'm able to meet. And the thing that I was taking away is just how important having 1 or 2 of these are on a regular basis can be, regardless of your industry. Like the amount of people who are like, I have made genuine friends, genuine mentors, genuine sponsors just from attending this event, and that they've been here since 2019, going to this event for literally years, getting to see the same people, reconnect with the same people, as well as meet the new faces. It's so amazing. And there's so many ways that you can get your company to sponsor things like that, because a lot of corporations are realizing they need to invest in their workers in order to really have that competitive edge, especially now, is one of the huge takeaways I have been hearing from everybody at the top of these companies, leading sustainability, leading DE&I, leading all of these different initiatives, right? The other really, really important thing that I took away was just the proper way to network. So many people are and I've had this happen to myself, it's I've never talked to you, I've never even shown you any support or love, but it's here, give me all this information, give me all this tea, tell me your secrets, how are you landing these deals? And it's I don't know you. And not that I have any problem reaching back, but the big thing that a lot of the people and experts in these spaces echoed is I need to know you have some skin in the game, right? When they were talking about looking for people for grants, looking for people to invest in, looking for people to collaborate in, a lot of them were more likely to work with people where it's I've seen you've been at this for months, years, consistently. I've seen that you put your own money into this business, into your idea, into what you're trying to grow, right? that signals to people that you're serious. And that makes them more likely to want to sit down and give you that time and give you that energy and really help build you up in the way that you're looking. But just to kind of come to somebody that you don't know and be like, give, especially in a situation where it's not like, this is a pitch competition, this is a grant competition, right? Like, we are all just genuinely here to meet people, exchange ideas. So just watching how people were approaching each other, the conversations that were being had, and taking those away for myself, because again, it's so easy. Like, I know I need a mentor, I know I need a sponsor, but just sliding in someone's DMs like, hey, like, so I know you don't know me, but I know you and I feel like you need to help me. You know what I mean? And even listening to how these people were looking for people to invest in their companies was so different too, right? Like, a lot of them were like, I don't want anybody just bringing money to the table. This should be mutually beneficial. Besides, like, you're helping finance. Are you good at the business side? Do you bring in innovative ideas? Do you have connections? So even being strategic with who you're investing in or where you're getting your grant money from, because one thing that was repeated in a lot of the talks is not all money is good money. And baby, whew, that is true. Like, I passed up a $2,000 brand deal for that reason. It's like, you want me to talk about Botox that I've never used, never tried. You're going to run my likeness for 6 to 8 months, like, and you're allowed to change. That's not good money. When have I ever talked about Botox? Why would I encourage my audience to use something that I've never tried, that I personally don't even, I'm not going to say don't see the benefit, but like, I'm not about to use Botox anytime soon. Like, yes, I don't like my little forehead wrinkle, but I'm also just not about to fight that with just injectables right off bat. I'm definitely let's try some organic options. Let's try some skincare options before I'm really about to do like invasive. And even though that's not invasive, but that's just my personal preference. So why would I sit here, even though they were willing to pay good money, you know what I mean, for a story post, by the way? Like, it wasn't even like something on my feed, but a story post that they were going to run ads with. That didn't make sense. And honestly, if it wasn't for this seminar and just hearing so many people's stories, like, I would have definitely been like, well, But the other thing that I'm hearing so much is like alignment and values and sticking true to like being authentic. And yeah, some of us, like, it sucks you may be in a position of money, but sometimes you got to be uncomfortable to make sure that you're doing things that align right and act like a big business that you want to be. Like, our goal is not to be solopreneurs forever, you know, and this is a actual like industry conversation, industry forum. So like, these are people who are, again, like in those corporations having these conversations as well. So it gives you a whole different insight as a creator when you're sitting in these kind of industry conferences, not these influencer conferences where it's like, here's best practices for like to know, here's best practices for this and that. Like, hearing from the industry what their big challenges are, how they're working with DE&I, how they are trying to reach back and like collab with colleges and things like that. Those are different talking points and unique ways that you can weave yourself in and go, hey, I seen that you have this, or I seen that you have that. I'm from here, I'm from there, I use this, and I would love to help you bridge that gap and tell that story. Like, I'm feeling so, if you cannot tell, inspired by just all of this. And I'm so curious for you. One, what do you do? I don't think I've ever asked that question. So let me know, what industry are you in? What is your job title? Let me know below. And then also share, like, do you go to conferences? Do you actively look for conferences? Because that was one frustration I had with GM, to be 1,000% honest. I did not mind the work, but just, it felt like always a fight to, one, get paid what I deserve. Like, I was underpaid. That was a conversation my boss and I had for years. Like, he knew it and wanted to make it right, but we never could get there. Like, the company knew it, but we're not making actionable steps. And the same with conferences. Like, I would sit here and find all these really awesome sustainable conferences and sustainability things that I knew we should be attending as a company. And it just was like, well, that one's not quite in the budget. If you want to go on your own, But then sat there and was like, why aren't you wanting to invest in your future? Why aren't you going out of your, and it's like, if you as a company have this on your priority list and say this is what you stand for, you should be actively encouraging your employees and finding the budget. Like, we had a budget for people to attend conferences, but it just never seemed that they had budget for the conferences I wanted to go and be at that would really, in my mind, just connect a lot of dots that we were missing. So it just was so short-sighted. And to see how many companies are actively still trying to do that, the way Steve Madden's still pushing that, the way like Foot Locker is having their own programs and their lead program, right, really reaching back. It's just, there's so much out there at these conferences that, again, if you don't even know they exist, right, and just like the grant money that's out there, you know, I took a grant course this week and it's like, there's so much opportunities out there. And so I hope that by bringing you along, I know that by bringing you along, I'm sharing that exposure, because that was something I did not get a whole lot of, honestly, in my small town of Wausau. Like, as you can imagine, it's Wausau. People were not coming to Wausau, Wisconsin to scout out for sports, to scout out for anything. Like, we didn't have the tech teams and the robotics teams. We didn't have a lot of those like really cool opportunities. Go, you know, like to this college, to that college, like, and really get to experience, like we had Madison, but it wasn't like Madison does fashion or Madison was really great at engineering, right? Like, so where you are can unfortunately dictate what you think is out there. And so expanding, like, that's why I'm always like, dude, I'm looking for new people to be inspired by all the time. I'm looking for new people to watch, because the more I can expand and see what's out there, the clearer my picture can be, the clearer my vision can be, the more conviction I can have, and the better I can share that vision, right? Like, the more crystallized, like, bro, I know why I keep showing up every day. I know why I'm here to, like, hopefully help you find what's feeling good. Hopefully you overcome these barriers the way that, like, I know I had to, like, go through, and I hope that I help you kind of fast track that and encourage you to take that first step. Like, it's, as you can see, I'm getting really worked up, but like, it just, a lot of this stuff has just been crystallizing and crystallizing, which is what's making me so excited for CultureCon. I feel like I'm really excited to see just a completely different industry now, right? Because this is just footwear and just shoes and more sneaker focused, I would say. Cole Haan, things like that were in the building as well. So I don't want to say it was like just sneakers, but, you know, it just reignites my purpose, and also, again, just makes me feel frustrated, just the amount of opportunities that we didn't know about, I didn't know about. And then even once I did kind of know, I wish I would have just taken more agency while working at GM to be like, bro, y'all are gonna find some money. Like, if we are talking about DE&I, we are talking about all of these things to be successful, and we want to be that company at the cutting edge. We need to figure it out, because you don't need to send such and such to a trade show and look at like yarn. That isn't what we need to do, right? Like, they don't need to go to some random conference to watch the cars being washed down in that new technology. If we're talking about sustainability and we're talking about this, these are companies doing it well. These are companies who have learned how to collaborate. Like, we need to go to Europe, and they're the ones who are dictating a lot of the legislation, not just for like the environment, but for working conditions, right? This is what's happening in the world. And if we are not investing in anyone to be in these rooms, we're gonna be left behind. Like, and that just, you know, so to see a lot of these companies like really about that, really talk about that, and how they're working with entrepreneurs and weaving all these stories, it's great. So if you've never found conferences like this, I encourage you, if you can try and find like 1 or 2 a year, even if it has to come out of your own pocket, one that's a good look to brands. Like, oh my God, you out of your own pocket came here to be at this, you know, especially if you're trying to leave your job. Just saying, no pressure. That looks good. Like, I spent my own money to be in this room because I know it's important to be here, even if my company didn't send me, right? But then 2, the amount of people that you'll get to see, right? Like, just like there's your own little community within your city, like Detroit, that all the creatives know each other, right? I'm like, I know you, I know you, I know you. Everybody who was in Detroit knew each other. But the cooler thing was like the people from Dallas knowing the people from New York knowing the people from Atlanta, like getting to see those colleagues on that big level. This gives you that access to, hey, yeah, I remember you from last year. We had that great conversation. I'm so excited, and finding ways to connect. Like, one of the girls, she was sharing her story and how her friends and the people she connected with 2 years ago ended up being good friends just because it was like during COVID, they hopped on a Zoom, had a cute little wine tasting, and like 6 of them stayed behind, and that was that. The rest was history. And so one worked at Foot Locker, one starting her own custom footwear boutique, like the first woman-owned one ever in existence. And that's how she was able to get those connections. It wasn't, what can you do for me? And oh, I see you work there. They just came up with a cute way to connect and made sure that it was a good fit, and they aligned in that way, you know, and it's been great. So I know I'm running behind because I have no idea what I'm even gonna wear. So let me finish this up, get dressed, and we're gonna go get into some shenanigans. Even with the rain, we are gonna make some shake and we're gonna have a time. So excited to bring you along. So let's get dressed, boo, and head outside. This is the fit I landed on. I will not lie, like, rainy days, especially like rainy day, semi-outside activities, that's always gonna be my kryptonite. Like, gonna be my kryptonite. Because I like pants that are usually long and drag on the ground. So when it rains, I'm not that girl. I'm not bold enough, like, I'm gonna just let my pants drag on the ground, be wet and gross. Nah. So this is kind of what I ended up going with. I have this really fun denim top from Temu. You might have missed it because it was an additional piece from a different collab that I did with them. Then I decided to go with the pants from H&M. They're just so easy. And they have the nice, like, the tie bottom detailing, which I'm loving, paired with the dark brown Steve Maddens. Right, because I just didn't want to like add to my proportion, so I went with a shoe that wasn't bright, giving kind of that sandwich effect. You have the dark on top, dark on bottom sandwich. For the accessories, going a little bold with the gold, I have my ear cuffs from Fashion Nova, my bigger quality earrings from Soko. Then I've got the beads that I picked up while I was in Thailand. The gorgeous birthday bracelets. For the scent, I don't want anything heavy because I think I might change after, in case we pop back out, because I'm thinking we're probably going to be there for 2-ish hours, eat dinner, and then reconvene. So I'm going to do the Fenty just because it's a little bit of spice, but it won't like counteract if I decide to layer it with anything else. So given that I had literally zero idea what I was going to wear today, I honestly expected it to be gloomy, just not rainy, right? But the rain just does set a different kind of tone, and I typically want to go and be cozy. I'm not going to lie to you. Usually it's like black, cozy fit when it's raining outside. And then I'm definitely going to need to recharge because ran into Black Gold while I was at the footwear place, and he is spinning that tonight. So I'm going to want to be outside because I haven't really been outside to dance in a while, and that releases a lot of stress for me. Like that movement, it really is part of my like wellness routine, if I'm honest. If I don't get the bad energy out, it just does something to my brain. So let's get downtown, meet up with Eden and the girls, and have us a nice little birthday soiree gathering.
I was influenced.
We had a time last night. I love being able to get the girls together. It can be so difficult these days. I am really hating that about getting older, is like there's so much less room for spontaneity because everyone's spread out. Obviously, we're not all doing the same things. Like, you know, in college, that was the one joy, right? Everyone's kind of doing the same things, going to the same classes, eating at the same places. So of course, you're going to run into each other. But when you're an adult, there is not enough talk about that. And I feel like even if you think about high school, like they did not prepare us in that way to like adjust, I would say, you know, because even if you do live, like I do live in a like, you know, a metro area, I've got stuff in walkable distance, but not a lot of my people live here where I can walk to their house or even like under 10-minute drive to their house. And then, of course, you know, like Eden's got 2 kids now. Crystal's got her husband. A lot of people are married, got significant others. So it can be challenging to get the crew together. But to get us all together, have a good time at Spotlite, enjoying the block party, the food, so good. I tried street beef for the first time. Delicious. They had this vegan crunchy wrap supreme. My mind was blown. I always find that I can eat vegan food when someone else makes it. When it's me, it never comes out as flavorful. And I don't know if that's because I don't have the patience or if that's because I just don't really like have the right ingredients, because a huge part of cooking obviously is like starting with the right ingredients, and you know, just depending if you got that patience or just the grocery store you go to that day, fresh ingredients might not be available. It just is what it is. So I'm still very much in my like chill PJs. I'm gonna change really quick because I need to get my thumbnail together for YouTube and all of that fun stuff for the video, which goes live in like an hour, 2 hours. It's 9, okay. So 2 hours. Then Adidas is not until 1. We got in late, y'all. I am off of 5 hours of sleep. I don't know why. My body just struggles to sleep in when it knows I have something to do the next day. It's like, hey, your something could be at like 1 p.m., but girl, we getting up at 8 o'clock like clockwork. You not sleeping in. And it's a blessing and a curse all at once. So I try to just, when I'm up, get in that flow, go through the day, and then as I need it, I will take rest. It is Sunday, the day of rest, so also need to get some clothes in the laundry, and I think that's it just for like morning activities. I'm also thinking I want to go sit at a coffee shop, really kind of go through all of my thoughts, because it was so much over the weekend. There were so many just reoccurring themes, reoccurring ideas, so many amazing people. So I want to make sure I have a list of everybody that I met, make sure I'm sending up my follow-up emails no later than Tuesday. That was such a great tip that Channing gave, was like, when you meet these people, if you're not following up in the same day, which most people I have DM'd, but with like a formal email, formal contact, formal follow-up, like that's where a lot of us lose opportunities. It's just that very simple, like, hey, just wondering if you got this, or hey, just want to make sure, or thank you for your time meeting you and talking about these things. Because again, like execs from every company, I met Foot Locker, I met StockX, I met Steve Madden, like there's so many connects. And again, like I'm not minding these for like, so could I get a collaboration today? I really am approaching it a lot like how a lot of other girlies who are here, have been here for longevity, approach it, right? I'm always like, are we aligning? And like, I'm never working with, you'll notice, I'm never working with brands that feel far off from what it is that I do and value and believe in, right? Like, I'm never gonna like work with a brand. I told you, like I said, about the deal that I said no to. I'm just never gonna work with a brand that just doesn't align. And so, you know, while a lot of these companies, everyone's always like, those are the companies, da 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 da. Sometimes those really aren't the companies. Like, there's a lot of behind the scenes things. And, you know, I think that was one thing I always gave Jackie Iron her props for, was like refusing to be a token girl. And that can be so hard, especially, I know for me, a lot of people think that I get a lot of my opportunities because of how I look. And that can be the case. Like, I've never put that as first and foremost, like, you know why you need to work with me, right? You know, I truly try and align on values more so than like they want my face or they want someone that looks specifically like me, right? Because I've always felt the same way. Like, I want to make sure that any opportunity I have is in alignment and opening doors, not just for myself, but for everyone else. So with that in mind, gonna grab a coffee, go sit at, where do we want to go? I took y'all to Lucky last time, which is super cute. I'm just mad about the coffee sizes. And Drifter, so generally it's not even like the coffee shop's fault. Fall to me is the worst coffee shop flavors. I'm gonna say it. Like, I'm not a pumpkin spice, maple syrup, cinnamon. I don't want any of those flavors in my lattes. I'm so sad because Drifter had an ube latte that was delicious. And ube is technically a sweet potato, but that's not on the menu for fall. Like, but that's just me being a baby, though. I'm between Dessert Oasis because they do a good job, and Seven Sundays. I would do Red Hook. What do y'all think about Red Hook? Because they've got that really good biscuit. Because I'm also trying to think of food. Because I'm not cooking breakfast. Honestly, Sundays I try not to cook at all. It's another just one less thing off my plate is like, don't have to cook, put all this stuff together. I'm going to think on it while I change, and we are going to decide once I do an outfit rundown for you. Let me get dressed, and we are going to get into the rest of the weekend. Quick look at the fit. I have this jumpsuit from H&M, just so easy, paired with the New Balance sneakers. I'm, again, channeling Tracy Ellis Ross whenever I want just like my cool girl off-duty vibes. I have my easy earrings. I'm not loving these, but they work. They're from Kendra Scott. Then I've got my Thailand bracelets. My Soko rings are becoming like my everyday, so these are the fan ring set. This, you guys know, is from Biella Vintage. The Bahara ring, this is my like everyday statement. I love it. And the Zara bracelets. Oh, and I forgot to mention, because again, you guys keep asking, I'm trying to do better at this. For the fragrance, I have the Valentino Green Stravaganza. When I say literally, oh, I want to focus. Literally, this gets me stopped every single time. I get so many questions like, you smell so good. The Valentino Green Stravaganza is my other that girl. And with my skin being nice and dewy and glowy, I wanted to share why it's looking so good. That is the Merit Great Skin. I shared this in my favorites for September. I'm really loving it. I was nervous, like I said, about this staining clothing, and also a little bit nervous about this on my skin. But as you can see, my skin, it's just got that nice like glow to it, just like a little soft shimmer, right? I don't want anything obviously like super bright or oily, but it's just giving a nice glow without any foundation. This is probably going to be in my regular rotation. So let's go ahead to the coffee shop. Just have a good morning, write down some intentions, some feel good, because that's the other reason I love to sit at a coffee shop. I'm going to put on some music, write down my intentions for the week, especially the last quarter of the year. So let's head to Atomic. I think that's where I want to go. So let's do that for coffee. Yes, well, you know what I mean, like, that's such a great question, Grandma. What did happen?
You're a sports girl.
You know what, I am. The hard part is just like, just the time to put it on, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm not having like background noise of like show, because it's like, if it's something new, I have to watch it. I like have to watch the brand new show. But, or like if it's a game, I have to watch it. So the hard part is like actual time to, be able to focus, to focus on the sport, you know, versus like it's just background noise. Because basketball was always my favorite, to be honest, but just like, you know, the Pistons got to do a little better. In my opinion, and a lot of people have said too, like the programming just for like the games and stuff, it just isn't as hype as like other arenas and things. So it's like, because I was thinking about going in person. I haven't gone to a in-person game yet. Gosh, in the 10 years, that's so embarrassing. Like, you know, it just looks like, that was my beef even with like the Purdue games. I was like, you know, y'all look boring. At least the football games, it was like really fun. It was really exciting. But just like the basketball games, they just did not have the same kind of zest or, you know, just excitement about it. So, but all right, I am pulling up, Grandma. So I'm going to let you go. But love chit-chatting with you as always.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Dear, love you.
Love you too. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Because bringing us into the present moment means that we create space for ourselves and the people around us to actually understand where we are, where we're going, what's in front of us. We do that through movement.
Y'all, got some flowers ending out. Homecoming. One last cute little, y'all. Back it on up to live. Home after a beautiful session. I didn't record much of it just because they simply asked us to be present and be there, but it was so awesome, so amazing, just so informational. Again, I think sometimes in our fear and our reserve and our want to not be judged, we don't share as much as we should to allow people to connect. And someone said something that really resonated with me, was that I'm glad everyone here was vulnerable despite the fear to be, and to allow me the ability and the space and the opportunity to actually hear and see you and really appreciate you as you are. And that really meant a lot, because again, that can be hard. It can just be hard to just show up as yourself candidly in any space, right? Like even in this, I know sometimes it's like, ooh, do I share that? Because I just, you know, you fear that reaction, and but you rob people then. You rob people of the opportunity to see you. So I just wanted to make sure I echoed that. And with that, I thought it would be so fun to unbox some of the goodies that we got from the giveaway. So of course, the gorgeous bag. It is a movement, not a moment. They did so well. There's another beautiful bag in here that is from StockX and PLC. So fun. I just thought that was like really nice. Another really cool thing is they gave us these really fun, just kind of like 3D printed like foot molds, just for obviously like PLC and like actually shoemaking. So this is a mold of a foot that obviously shoes are made. Well, not shoe, maybe kid shoes, but just obviously an example. But this is a paperweight that you can use. So I thought that was really cute and different. Something else that was really dope is this. You don't know what this is? Hold on. Got it. This 3D printed Nike. How fun. You can paint this up however you want. So I'm really excited because between this and the Legos I was gifted, I'm thinking of just doing like a cute little like 2-parter solo date home series, just like giving yourself a space to be artistic, even if it's bad, even if it doesn't come out perfect, like taking pride in just giving yourself an opportunity to express yourself in a new way, even if it's not perfect. I think so often we let perfection keep us in the way of being our audacious self, being bold, being amazing. And so like, don't be afraid to just be you, and it may not be perfect, and that's okay, especially when it comes to art, because your girl can coordinate colors, but I will say like truly artistry and painting, not my strong suit. It's not my strong suit. Then last but not least, in the goodie bag giveaway specifically from Coach. Now look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little envious because they gave out this really nice case, especially for like card holders to hold all of your stuff. It's a really good pouch, which I was honestly needing to keep some of my like essentials. I usually have nail glue, I have like mints, you know, just some little like girly things in a little bag that I can transfer from purse to purse. So this is so perfect as a goodie bag giveaway. Then the Adidas Wellness had their own little goodie box. So they had this super cute notebook for us to obviously journal in and use, not just for the workshop, but for ourselves. So I just really love that, because there's a lot of not just DE&I, but EI as well, which is industry education. So that's what was really cool about this forum, was it really was about the industry educating each other and just having these open conversations, which is so important to just move forward. And that's important in any industry. And that was a huge takeaway that I had. Let me show you the box. Like, how cute. But really, like, creating spaces and true connections and collaboration is how we all win, and it's not a competition. And anybody who treats it like that and acts like that is not going to succeed in any industry. That is one thing I have absolutely learned. Like, while it's okay to be picky and discerning about who you share your information with, there's a difference between not wanting to waste your energy and just wanting to gatekeep because you have that scarcity mindset. And once I got rid of that, like, this is the only opportunity and this is the only chance, it really helped me to like have even more opportunities. So inside their gorgeous box. Okay, I really wish that box was constructed a little bit better. I would have loved to give you like a vibey inside. Sage. I'm so excited because I'm actually looking at this little like sage chimney and chimney for my Palo Santo, because I love to just burn this and have that smell in my house, release all the bad vibes. Then there is this Empathy Linen Room Spray, which is cedarwood, coconut, ooh, amber, and vanilla. These sound like a lot of my favorite mixes, right? Because like I mentioned in my fragrances, like favorite fragrances for the month, I love that mix. So I can smell the coconut, but that wood in there, that like cedar, is really bringing that bit of hominess and just like that necessary balance I feel like every scent should have. Then this gorgeous candle, amber, vanilla, tonka, cedarwood, and sandalwood. So gorgeous. And it's got one of those like flickering wicks, which I love, that like actually crackle so you can get the fire sound. But this smells so good, and just again, a really great icing on the cake of just a great forum, and something that if you're in the area, and even if you're not, look into registering for this next year, because it was such a great conference. Like, I have been to a lot of conferences as a professional in engineering that were like paid, that were not even close to just like the amount of resources and community that I felt here. And it was so great to like hear how many people were like, I make sure I'm at this every year. I get to reconnect with these people every year. And like that intentionality, especially when it comes to conferences, I feel like is missing in a lot of the event spaces, is like making sure it's more of a community versus a gatekeeping, right? Like, yes, we want the same people here every year, but we are always inviting new people. So I loved that about this event. Anna is giving me a little bit of a hard time because she is pressed for walkies. We must go right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take her for our evening walkies and do a little bit of homekeeping before we head to the Godnii event, okay? So let me take her for a walk and I'm gonna check in with you at the event. Real quick fit change, taking outfit inspiration from my Instagram. Just instead of the Alice and Olivia pants, I have my RI River Island cross front pants, the H&M crop top again, just something easy. Wanted a pop of color, so I've got my Marc Jacobs tote. Coming in for the earrings from Godnii, the same rings from earlier, but my Fashion Nova bracelet, and on this hand it is the same from earlier, so the Zara bracelets paired with the Bahara ring. Then I've got my Lulu's heels to be nice and matchy. For the scent, I decided to go with my grown sexy Valentino pink Born in Roma. So delicious, so good. So again, just something kind of like fun, elevated, but easy for the private Godnii event. Are you ready? I'm ready to take you with, because his sunglasses, y'all, they are so dope. So let's get into the only made in the US black luxury sunglasses here in the D. Yeah, come on, let's go check it out.
Like you said,
I'm so childish.
Is that, you know, I run a business.
Yeah.
So like, I'm editing fireworks.
Yeah.
And so like I haven't had any time.